Hey guys, what's going on? Today we're going to be doing a bit of hauling material with the truck, the 250 and the Big Tex trailer. It's all hooked up, you know, ready to go. Got my airbags pumped up to 40 pounds right now. Once I get my load on, I'll probably go up to about 80 to 90 pounds or so. Got the Gen Y torsion hitch. It's rated for 14,000 pounds. Had this for a couple years now. It's awesome, love it. It's well worth the money. The Big Tex 14x7 LX, two 7,000 pound axles, heavy duty trailer. Abused this thing through the years, and it keeps taking the abuse and keeps on going. Obviously has some battle scars, but works great. So it's been a busy couple years here at the property, that's for sure. Obviously this section is done, you know, grassed and whatnot. This here was all weeds and whatnot. I used the machine to grub the stuff off. I gotta pick all the weeds out by hand, but I'm gonna be putting gravel down here to match up with what's done up here. So I need a load of Class A for that, and then more work that I finished up top here on the weekend. What's going on, buddy? Say hi. Say hi. Oh, hi. So, you know, I did this pad on the weekend. It's gonna be where I'm gonna build a shed here, and I'll have a fire pit out back. Stay down, stay down, Wendell. Have a fire pit out back, and yeah, the shed, lean-to have some wood and whatnot. Believe it or not, this area back here was basically all sort of swamp. A couple years ago, I cut a bunch of trees out of here, hauled a bunch of fill in, built myself a pond. All these trees here, all these fence posts were wood that was cut off the property, and I peeled the bark off, built this fence for the dogs to go into. This year we topsoiled and seeded it. It's doing pretty good. This year I need a load of topsoil, so I'm gonna put topsoil down here and put some sod in, sod over to the gravel, and then we're gonna build a fire pit. Gonna build a fire pit right up here, so then when we're outside we can put the dogs in the fence and we don't have to worry about them, because they like to roam, don't you? So yeah, there was a lot of work here. We basically had a lot full of rock and a couple swampy areas, and we've turned it into something, but it took a lot of time and material. Luckily I have, you know, the equipment myself, so you know, it was okay, made it pretty good. But like even down there's about 100 loads of rock on that pad down there in order to even make that usable, because it's just peat moss and stuff below. But so once we get this project done and get that project done down below, then we have this area to clean up and this section of the yard to finish. But that's another project. We'll see if I get that done this year or not. And then while we're doing all this, I'm also building a camp and doing work back to my lake lot. So it's been a busy year with that and work. But anyway, so we're gonna haul 3 loads of material today. A load of clear stone for along the rock wall here, in between the rock wall and the fence. And a load of Class A for down below, and a load of topsoil for right here. So yeah, we're gonna get to it, and I'll see you on the road. All right guys, so we're just getting ready to head out of here. I'm gonna reset my trip See what we get combined for fuel with hauling the loads and then with the trailer empty. Like I said, I've got 40 pounds in the airbags right now. And got the tow haul on. Trailer gain is set to 4. And yeah, we're off. So we're gonna haul 3 loads. And we'll see how my mileage does and get you an idea of how the thing pulls. I've hauled some heavy weights with this before. I got a couple of videos on here. I think the heaviest load that I had combined with the trailer, and yes, I was overweight for the trailer anyway, was I think it's 16,000 pounds, but I have to go back through my videos and check that, but I think that's what it was. I don't plan on hauling that much today. Somewhere between you know, 3 and 4 or 4.5 ton is what I'm hoping. But you really can't control when they load the truck at the quarry, so you kind of get what you get. But anyway, that's the game plan, and we'll check back in once we got some weight on this thing. Alright guys, so here we are, we're at the quarry. Like I said, I've got 40 pounds in here right now. I'm gonna put it up to 80 even before we get loaded up here, just so it's not such a huge lift once the weight's all on there. You can hear the compressor kick in. This is the Airlift compressor and the Airlift Wireless 1 compressor, and Airlift load level or load lift 5000 airbags is what they're called. On my 550 I have Firestone bags and compressor. It's a bit heavier duty. The compressor is actually really quiet. It's and that one there, you can actually, if you ever wanted to, you can put more air in one side compared to the other, but I don't really know why you'd want to do that, but anyway. But yeah, we're just gonna wait to get loaded and we're gonna head on out of here. Alright guys, there she is. Sitting pretty level right now. 4.5 ton on basically. 4.36 ton. 4.36 ton. So that's my weight that I have in gravel, plus the trailer is like 4,100. So I've got you know, almost 14,000. So I've got almost 14,000 pounds. So I actually am not overweight. So I've got 80 pounds in it right now. It feels a little bit spongy, not bad, but anyway, I'm gonna pump it up to 95 pounds and we're gonna take off and get out of here. Alright, so we're off, and as soon as we pull on the highway here, we actually have a pretty good grade to deal with. So it is a good workout for the truck, you know, right off the get-go. But yeah, I've hauled heavier loads than this, and I've hauled a lot of loads with this weight, and you know, there's no issues whatsoever. This 6.7 is pretty impressive. So yeah, this is a 2017 Ford F-250 6.7 stock, completely stock. So I just right now put my foot to the floor, and I mean, we're climbing speed pretty quick here. Again, we are on quite a grade here right now. I got vehicles in front of me that are not going as fast as I am. That's 100 kilometers an hour right there, up, you know, probably a 3% grade. 3 to 4% grade, I would assume. You know, I've made videos before and how impressed I am with the airbags, and I'll never ever own another vehicle, another truck that I plan on using for work ever again without airbags. I don't have a weight distribution hitch, just the Gen Y torsion hitch and, you know, the airbags. And I drive down the highway, the steering wheel is, you know, it isn't moving at all, but I drive down the highway with a couple fingers on the steering wheel. And I mean, yeah, of course you know the trailer's back there, but you honestly, it really doesn't affect how you're driving or the handling of the truck at all. A few people have said, I've watched other videos, these trucks, these Super Duty F-Series trucks, most people that test them up to the Dodge and the Chev, you know, Fast Lane Truck does their Ike Gauntlet. This truck, the F-Series Super Duty trucks, have been coming out on top ever since the 17s came out. They've rated those as, like, you know, the best towing experience. But some people have said, because of the aluminum body and the weight savings, that the Dodge seems to be planted on the road better. I don't know. I've never driven the Dodge, so I'm not sure. I've never driven the, you know, 2500 or 3500 Dodge, not recently anyway. Which I actually have a buddy who has one. He has an outdoorsman edition, so I'm actually going to try to get his truck for a day and just do a towing comparison, do a loop, you know, do a fuel mileage test with it, so we can get I can get a perspective of how it is. But anyway, you know, we got 14,000 pounds behind us right now, basically, and just cruising down the road. This truck's always impressed me with how it doesn't really even have to shift down at all. It can stay in 6th gear, going up some pretty big grades, and it can just truck later on in 6th gear. It's just so much torque. You know, at a low end RPM, it works really good. I barely ever use the engine brake, the exhaust brake in this truck. I use it in my 550 all the time when I'm towing my excavator, but I got it on today, and between that and the grade shift, it does a great job of holding the speed going down hills or coming into a stop sign. You know, you basically just tap the brakes and you know, you're good to go. So there's a good test right there. That was an overpass. So the torsion hitch combined with the airbags really makes the towing experience great. The torsion hitch makes a huge difference when you hit those sort of bumps. You don't get that lug in the trailer, like it's not yanking you, like that barely even noticed that at all. But just typical generic hitches, I find you get that lug, so you got that, like it's pulling you type thing. This, with that torsion hitch and with the airbags, you don't get that at all. And of course, while I was sitting at the quarry waiting for 25 minutes to get my trailer loaded, I didn't shut the truck off, so my fuel mileage test is not going to be very good because I just sat there idling for 25 minutes. But right now, I've driven 33.8 kilometers and I'm averaging 23.6 liters per 100 kilometers, so it would be better. I might have to reset it once I get home again and start it all over. But we're going down a grade right now. I'm going to set my cruise control to 112. And it will absolutely hold me at that speed. And without a run-on, we have another pretty good incline coming here. As a Nova Scotia, that's basically what we are, is hills, lakes, and rivers, so there's not a whole lot of flat land here in the Maritimes. But we just got to the bottom of the hill. It held my speed the whole way, and now we're going to go up this grade, and we'll see if it does have to shift out of 6th gear. Just did shift down to 5th. I dropped down to about 106. And now we're about to crush the hill. Now we're back up to 6. So it did have to shift down. I do have 35-inch, 35 by 12.5 R20 KO2s on this truck. They're slightly taller than the factory size and quite a bit wider. So that does make a difference for you know, for towing and fuel mileage. And also I am due to replace my change up my fuel filters. It's been a while since I've done that, so that may have been a factor there, but who knows. But no, it doesn't generally have to drop out of 6th gear very often. Anyway, we're gonna go home and dump this first load and then continue on. We got 2 more loads of material to get. Alright guys, so here we are again. We're hauling our 2nd load. We got Clearstone on this time. And we got 4.39 ton. So we're pretty much the same as the last load. So we are again just under 14,000 pounds combined. But hopefully you can see that 4.39 metric ton, not short tons for us here in Canada. So last time it had to shift down to 5th gear coming up this hill after we go down. I had it set at 112. I had it set at 112 kilometers an hour. So I'm actually going to I think I'm going to increase my speed this time and see if it shifts down. It makes sense that it would, but me being able to gain a little bit more speed going down this hill, it might not have to. So I'm going to set it to 116 kilometers an hour, and we'll see. It may actually have to shift down into 5th gear to hold my speed so I don't get going too fast, but we'll have to wait and see what it does here. This guy's boat in front of me is called the Money Pit. So we're still in 6. It hasn't had a shift down yet. This guy is going too slow in front of me, but I don't want to have to touch the brakes, so I didn't. So now we're going back up. I got a feeling it's gonna have to shift down. Yeah, pretty much the same exact spot as last time. There it actually shifted down to 4th. Obviously that's just because the truck wants to keep its speed. It doesn't want to lose any speed, so. So right now I have this cruise control set on at 116 kilometers an hour, and obviously there's no issues keeping up with speed. I actually just increased it to 118 kilometers an hour. And I mean, you can see just with this truck, you know, you're towing a lot of weight. You're towing 14,000 pounds, but this truck has no problems whatsoever of driving down the highway and keeping up with traffic. You're not going to be holding up traffic unless you want to. You can put a lot of weight behind it and you're just going to drive along like no one's business. It's quite impressive. Anyway, I'm gonna go dump this load and then head and get a load of topsoil. That's gonna be it for my my heavy hauling and trucking today. All right, guys. So here is the load of Clearstone. Big Tex. Gets me going every time. Just noticed this mount's broke. So I've had the trailer for my 3rd season with it. I undercoat it, but with all these trailers, unless you get them galvanized, they start to rust. There's nothing you can do about it. And actually this is seeing quite a bit of salt, because when we do roofing jobs and whatnot on the road, I take this trailer with me. So it actually has seen quite a bit of salty road conditions. Haven't really had to do anything to this trailer at all, and like I said, I abuse it pretty bad. All right, time to pull ahead. It's a good size load. That's all she wrote for that. Alright guys, so we are hauling our last load of the day. We have 4 yards of topsoil on back, and potentially this could be our heaviest load of the day. Just because it's not weighed, it's just, you know, in buckets. So the loader that loaded me, their bucket is half a yard, so there's 8 buckets on there. And you know, topsoil is fairly wet, so it obviously weighs quite a bit more, and there's no real, you know, space for air gaps too much like there is with gravel. So potentially this could be our heaviest load. As far as looking at it on the trailer, it looks like the most material, but it's really hard to tell. But it would be right around the same weight as what we've been doing all day long. So again, we know we're somewhere around 14,000 pounds combined with the trailer. Got my trailer gain set to 9. I got my exhaust brake on. I've got 95 pounds in the airbags, and the truck is sitting right back up to where it was before I even had the load on. I don't really have very far to go on this load. I'm only about probably 8 or 9 kilometers away from my house, so we're gonna go back and dump this load off, and I guess then it's time to do some work. It's about 2:30 right now, but once you get this unloaded, I guess I need to actually do some physical work today, so looking forward to that. Anyway, we'll dump this load and call her a day for trucking. All right, this is it, the last big load.